Hello everyone, welcome. This is Parvathi here from Paro's Kraftology. This is my first DT project for Craftangles. I have decided to go steampunk and let's get started. So for the project I've used a 12 by 12 canvas and I've decided to use the back side. So I'm using backside of the box canvas so that I have some depth to my project. Uh, to start with, I'm using Craftangles Deco Thin sheets. These come in A3 sizes and there are 2 sheets per pack and both of them are of the same design. So here are the pages in this particular old world Deco Thin sheet pack. I just love these designs and I thought it'll go great with a steampunk or a vintage kind of a project. So that's the reason why I chose this. Now I won't be using it as a decoupage sheet, so you won't see me doing a proper decoupage of using this particular sheet. I'm just using it as a background texture element. I want those scripts and the images to come in my background. To stick the sheets, I'm using acrylic soft gel. Again, this is from Craftangles. Similar way, I stick pieces of this same sheet on all sides of my canvas, and I've left some parts of it so that I have a different texture on that particular area alone. Now to get on to the elements, I am using some resin embellishments. I coat all of them with charcoal gesso so that I have a really dark background to the elements. Now to get on to the main medium for the project, I'm using rust effect paste from Craftangles. These come in a set of 4 shades: yellow, orange, red and brown. They have different colors as well as different textures to them. Yellow being the smoothest one and brown being the thickest and the most coarsest one of them all. So one by one I add them one over the other. That is how it works. You have to lay them up to get the right kind of rust effect, and depending on the kind of rust you want to create, you can overpower the colors accordingly. So for me, I wanted tinges of yellow here and there, tinges of red here and there, and an overpowered brown rust. So you will see me covering my elements accordingly. One thing to remember, always give your mixed media essentials a good shake or a good stir before using them, because there are chances that the mediums would have separated if you have not used them for a long time. Here's a quick glimpse of how it was and how it is after the rust paste. Now for some of the elements I wanted to add some more interest, and I thought I'll go patina. So this is Craftangles patina effect paste, and they come in a set of 4 again, but I'm using the 3 prominent shades here: dark blue, mint green and the metallic one. Again, I won't be using this particular paste on all my elements because I want this steam engine to be my main patina component. So you'll see me giving this particular element the more patina effect than the rest of it. The metallic paint, I like to use them like wax to just highlight the main points. and it works pretty well, and I'm quite happy with how it has worked out over a rust base, because usually you just go patina, and this one is actually patina over rust, and I'm very pleased with the results. Honestly, my train engine looks great. Now our canvas is all nice and dry, so we'll start working on our canvas again. As I told you, it's a steampunk project, so I like it dark and moody. So I'm edging all my corners of the canvas with charcoal gesso, and now to match with my elements and to give it an overall rusty effect, I'm going about with the rust effect base. Now on my canvas I'm just going with 3 shades, because I wanted the edges especially to be really nice and dark. So I'm going with the red paste first, then some tinges of orange, and finally the brown rust paste. So brown again in this case also, it would be the most prominent one. And as you can see, it's very rough shading, because rust, as you all know, it's very rough, it's very random. So I wanted to give that natural rusty look. You can use palette knife or a flat brush for your rust effect paste and effect paste basically, and it would be great if it's an old brush, because it goes rough after you use them very frequently with these kind of paste. This is me going with some tinges of orange. As you can see, it's barely there. It's just so that it matches that I've used it. Almost like dry brushing. Now onto the brown rust paste. This one actually is the coarsest of them all, and it actually feels like a nice sandy texture, and it's not just a color basically, it's the texture and everything about these pastes that actually combines to give you a very natural rusty effect. Now I'm moving on to my composition. So to get my elements together stuck onto my canvas, I'm using a heavy gel medium. This heavy gel medium I'm using is from Finnabair. Just going about with the composition that I have in mind. So the steam engine and some other components that I've used are from Stamperia. They are soft molds from Stamperia, and these pipes are actually from Finnabair. The mold name, I guess, is Rusty Pipelines, and I'm happy that I'm using them for a rusty pipeline kind of a project. And of course, steampunk has to have a lot of gears, so I'm going about and adding some nice geary bits. Whenever you're doing a heavy mixed media project wherein you have heavy embellishments, metallic embellishments, or chipboards or whatever, right? It's best to go with heavy gel medium, because it is actually a very strong adhesive and it holds all your elements together without any problem. It takes time to dry, but it's worth the wait. Now I'm moving on to some die cut elements. So these are actually from Stamperia again. This is from Sir Vagabond collection. Now while using the die cuts also, I'm ensuring that I'm giving them that vintage kind of a tone. So I'm using distress inks to distress the edges and give it the same kind of shades. I have skipped few parts of the video because they are repeated steps and you wouldn't want to see the same thing over and over again. Now once the composition was almost done, I decided to give a nice shadow effect to all my elements. So giving a shadow actually combines your project all together and gives it that natural looking effect. So I try doing this to almost all my projects, even for layouts I try doing it. For this shadowing, I am using Mixed Media Essentials Color Mist Dye Based Cafe Mocha. Again, this is from Craft Angles. After a layer or two, I then went about and added some magical shakers from Lindy's also in a dark brown shade, so that the shading is coming from a darker shade to a lighter shade. I had actually forgotten to edge my main die cut elements, so you'll see me just giving a nice edging to these elements as well. Again, I'm using this distress inks to do the distressing. I distress the entire canvas using the same. And now to add some more texture and interest, I'm using this crackle texture 6x6 stencil from Craft Angles. I didn't realize that I was going out of the camera area, but I think I've captured it quite decently with at least some parts of it, so that you can see how I'm doing it. So very random places here and there, and the result it gives is pretty awesome. Now, as I told, I like adding a lot of gears in my steampunk project, and I thought I needed some more elements to give it that grungy look. So I went about and added a few more elements. These are again die cuts from the Vagabond collection from Stamperia. And I added a nice MDF cutout explore also onto this to add in more interest. Some final touches to the project, some final shading effects to give it that final grungy look and to combine all of it together. I'm quite pleased with how this project has turned out. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this. If you liked watching this video, please do subscribe and leave your comments below. Till we meet again, it's Parvathi signing off. Bye bye.